I should have knocked, huh?
No, that's okay. Don't ask.
So you argued?
No.
Where is she?
I don't know.
At work?
She didn't come home.
Last night you never saw her?
No, I saw her. I saw her slap Robert Barr across the face.
Better her than you.
Just don't know what for. Of course, when you think about it, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Papa, I have to go out. You think you could watch the baby? She's already fed Chip as at Julia's.
Cruz, listen. You're not thinking that Eden and Barr have been together all this time?
No, I'm not thinking that. And I'd appreciate it if you didn't think that either, Papa. Okay.
Listen, there's something I don't understand. Explain to me. Why would she leave you and the children?
Because I wouldn't leave it alone. I guess that's what I'm supposed to do. Just stand aside and watch and say, the hell with it, it's none of my business. I get no answers from her at the club. We drive home in our separate cars. We get here, Mama's watching the kids, and God forbid we should say anything in front of her. Eden goes upstairs, checks on Chip and the baby, comes down, tells Mama she'll take her home, and that's it. She never came back. Which I knew she wouldn't when I saw her walk out the door, because I got used to that look on her face when she used to pull stunts like this on a regular basis.
Look, I'll be happy to stay here, all right? So, where are you going to look?
I'm not going to look for her. She wants time alone. She can have it.
Are you sure? You know, maybe there's something wrong. I mean, since I've known Eden, it's so unlike her.
No, it isn't that unlike her, Papa. Believe me, it's not. And besides, I made all those calls last night. The CHP, the accident report log downtown. When I called her father's house, I could tell that Kelly had heard from her. So she's fine. And I have lost the last night of sleep I intend to lose over her friendship with Robert Barr.
Only me. You all right? I'm fine. Cruz is furious. He called right after you did. Why didn't you go home? I think if I had, he'd have asked me to leave.
Where are you going, Cruz?
To find out the rest, Papa.
Not to sound foolish, but the rest of what? It's fairly clear that Eden and Robert Barr were together at Las Sirenas many years ago.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Well, no more than you already think.
It's no more than I already suspected, without ever laying eyes on the place, actually.
Well, then tell her that.
Papa, I came out and asked her about it point blank last night. That's why she's gone.
Look, I believe that Eden's afraid to hurt you. She knows how you'd feel thinking of her with another man, so you've got to tell her that you already know.
No, that's not it. That's not it. At least it's not all of it. I saw her try to seduce an older married man. I saw her courted by a bogus Italian count. For God's sake, I saw her married to another person. I know what she was like when I met her. The fact that she had a lover before me is not going to send me into shock, and she knows it. So there has to be more to it than that. And if she hasn't told me about it, it's probably because she doesn't know herself.
And who will? I mean, aside from Barr, he's not going to tell you.
I will.
How many times did he call? Twice last night and once this morning. I did what you said. I told him that you were fine and you just needed some time to yourself. Thanks. Here, I brought you these. Something's bound to fit you. Eden, you guys left the party together. What happened?
I know what I'm doing.
I'm sorry, but it doesn't look like it.
Cruz needs my help understanding something that I have yet to understand myself. We are so used to turning to each other for everything that it's very difficult when neither of us knows the answer. So I'm trying, Kelly. Listen, I need for you to do a couple of things for me, if you don't mind.
All right.
First, I want you to go by and check on the kids. Just pretend like you're there to see if I'm home yet.
Eden, Cruz is going to know.
Kelly, please. If he hasn't badgered you yet, he's not going to. Second of all, I want you to give this to Robert Barr.
I'm not sure I like this.
Please.
Excuse me. I have something for you.
Oh. You're not a process server, are you?
It's from my sister.
Does she want to reply?
I don't know. I'll wait if you want.
No. I'll send a messenger over to her house if I have to.
She's not there, and she can't be reached. I'll just wait.
Is this her husband's idea?
What?
Her resigning from the transition team.
I doubt it. She hasn't... I happen to know that she didn't discuss it with him.
Well, I do have a reply for her, but I'll deliver it in person. Do you have any idea where I can find her?
I'm afraid that's not possible. Is there something you'd like me to tell her?
Just that I regret her decision very much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Follow her.
Hey there. Hi. Well, we are in business again.
Congratulations.
I just wish I had 20 more. Time did Eden get home? You had me worried when you called me.
Don't be. I went to bed.
Huh?
Listen, I went on a little fishing expedition regarding our friend Robert Barr.
Oh, really? Catch anything?
I'm not sure yet. You ever hear of a place called Las Sirenas?
Sirenas? Sure. It's an island out south, the Arianas chain.
Right.
Picturesque little port we used to go to every summer. Beautiful. Lots of yachts, nice harbor, summer people. Why, did Barr have any interest there?
Well, he might have some kind of financial interest, yeah.
What the hell, wait? Nothing was developed down there. I mean, I had a couple of hotels and restaurants. Maybe a casino, but nothing more. Just about $1 million worth of worthless beauty.
How long ago was this that you went down there?
I say we started going down there when Ted was about 5, and we kept on going until Channing died.
So that would have been about 10 years ago.
Yeah. We went that summer, and that was the end of it. You know, can answer these questions a lot better than me, Eden. Mason. But you better tread softly about asking Eden, because she's not too wild about your ways of dealing with Barr, but investigating him.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Anyway, when they were old enough, I let them get down by themselves. I mean, Eden and Mason. With the crew, of course. And I'd fly down with Kelly and Ted later on, because I really did want to cramp the vacations, and I couldn't spend the full 8 weeks there. So, they had a couple of weeks by themselves to do what they wanted to do.
That automobile accident in Switzerland, that would have been March or April of the year following the last summer you took the yacht out, is that right?
That's true. Or she might not remember every detail of that particular summer. I wish I didn't.
Why is that?
Eden and I weren't getting along too well at that time. I had to cut the vacation short. And, not long after we got home, Channing was killed. Eden went to Paris. She had the accident. And if she doesn't remember much about that summer, I am very glad about it.
Why weren't you getting along?
One thing or another.
Well, why'd you have to cut the vacation?
Who the hell are you investigating, Barr or me?
I'm just curious.
Well, it's embarrassing to discuss this with your daughter's husband, but Eden was not the wonderful, sweet, loving child that we all know today, you know.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't get bumped on the head myself.
I'm glad to hear that. Anyway, I flew out to the yacht one time. And she was alone. She wasn't supposed to be alone. She was supposed to be with Mason. She said Mason was there. Well, Mason had taken off someplace, and she'd gotten involved with some local type, you know what I mean?
Not exactly, no.
Well, neither do I, actually. I never met the boy, and she forgot about it in a week, but I practically had to lock her up in a cabin. I turned the boat, and I went home.
But this wasn't in Las Serenas.
I'd have to check the log on the yacht.
This local guy, do you remember his name?
I would have heard it again. It's not Robert Barr, that's what you're thinking.
No, I didn't think it would be.
I trusted you. You said Mason would be here with you.
He changed his mind. It wasn't my fault.
And now you tell me you've gotten yourself into God knows what kind of a situation with some fisherman.
He's not a fisherman. He's the man I'm in love with.
Love? Is that what you call what you've been doing with him? I'm taking you home.
No! I won't go, Daddy. I mean it.
Eden?
How did you find me here?
Habit. I've been keeping track of you for 5 years. I got your letter of resignation. I assume it was prompted by last night. I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
You did what you intended to do.
It won't happen again if you come back.
And it will if I don't. You said you didn't want to push me. You said all you wanted me to do was remember the special times at my own pace. Well, it's a lie. You want to relive it, and I can't do that. I don't love you. I know I remember saying it. I know I might have even meant it. But the feeling is gone. And no amount of recollection is going to bring it back. I love Cruz. And no matter how much you try, I am not going to remember the past the way that you do. I may be able to remember the little things, the objects, the weather. But anything I felt for anybody else was just a preamble to loving him. And what I am doing now, and the role you want to cast me in your life, it's hurting him very much. And it's got to stop.
Eden, please don't quit. I will play by your rules. I have never said that to anyone else in my life. We've come so far. How can you stop now when you're on the verge of getting everything back?
Nothing I could remember, no matter how much it meant to me, is worth jeopardizing my marriage.
What do I have to do to get you to forgive me, huh? I've forgiven you all kinds of things. I've put up with your anger and your contempt and your arrogance. I've put up with your attempts to undermine me in my own office. I have even put up with your husband's insulting persistence in trying to make me out to be some kind of a criminal. You can't forgive me one mistake?
Eden, come here. You say you don't feel anything for me. I know that is not true. You can't have the memories without the feelings. And what you're feeling now are all the things that you never had a chance to feel then. Because the way it ended was so painful and so abrupt, we never had a chance to finish what there was, or say goodbye, or even grieve for the loss of something that could have been. We may never know what it could have been.
Was it my father that ended it?
That was part of it. That was only one part of it.
You look tired. You didn't have a good day at the casino? You're good. I did good at the beach this afternoon.
Yeah, you must have. Margot.
Yeah, this lady, she was really stupid. She left all her jewelry in her purse, and her boyfriend was no trouble. Took everything to Alfonso, gave me 30,000 pesos for it.
Wow. Thought you had to work on the yacht today.
Yeah, well, I just told them I was sick, and so they gave me the afternoon off so I could go see the doctor. And I thought, well, I'm going to make a great dinner for them. So I have sea bass, I have yams, cranberries, asparagus.
You must have gone to Rafina's, huh? Bodegas don't have that kind of stuff for us locals.
Yeah, I did. You aren't angry, are you? I mean, I know you say that place is for tourists who think the local food is really dirty, but I thought maybe just this once it would be nice.
Why, are you going somewhere?
No. Where would I go? Actually, you should walk in there sometime. Rufina's very nice. She's very elegant.
Yeah, she is. I've known her for years. She was a friend of my mother's.
You never mentioned that.
She took me in after my parents were killed. I guess I never mentioned that to you either, huh? How one of the rich American yachtsmen got drunk one night, rammed into our fishing boat in a slip. Yeah, we were all three on board, cleaning the day's catch. The boiler exploded. I was thrown clear, but my mother and father were burned to death. It was one of those still nights with the light fog that makes the sound carry, but I would have heard them screaming anyway.
Oh my God, Robert.
I forget the guy's name. It was Stevens or Johnson or Hopewell, something so bland it disappeared. But anyway, he offered me some money. Can't remember how much. He said that's the way they do it in the States. See, if they kill somebody and they didn't mean to, then they pay money. I didn't take it. I never knew if Rafina did, but a little while after that, she opened her famous store. Imagine he probably shops there now when he comes back.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'll never go there again. I won't. I'm sorry.
I had the same idea you did. I had such a good day, I really wanted to surprise you, so I went to Rafina's, too. I spent half the money I made buying this back from her. She was really impressed to have a Capwell in her store. Of course, she had to explain to me what a Capwell was.
The woman had traveler's checks in her purse, and I just signed her name.
Liar. Her name was Eden, too? Is that such a common name?
And that's why it ended, because I lied to you? Was that before or after I had the talk with my father? Well, it must have been after, because he tried to take me away, but why would I want to stay if we'd already broken up? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. The order in which it all happened is really unimportant. I do want you to know, though, that I am planning on telling Cruz everything.
Well, that's a gamble I've been taking all along.
You should be glad. I'm sure whatever he suspects is much worse. He's a good man. He won't hold it against either of us. He might even leave you alone.
Why didn't you tell him before?
Tell him what? I didn't know myself.
You knew enough. But you held back. You sensed that it could be dangerous.
Because I didn't remember. It's really frightening to not remember.
Yeah, well, it's also frightening to remember too well. I am at your mercy, Eden. We both are, though I know you don't believe that. Look, I can't stop you from telling him. I can, but I won't. All I can tell you is it will be extremely dangerous. It'll be a terrible mistake. For reasons that you'll learn later. You know him better than I do. You know he's not going to let it go with what you know now.
No. You can't control me by hinting at things, by keeping secrets from me. Not anymore. Stakes are too high. Goodbye, Robert. Thank you.
So she never saw this man again?
Cruz, I told you, she forgot him. I mean, probably long before the accident. May have meant something to him, but nothing to her.
Mrs. C, I'm sorry, but that doesn't follow. I mean, you said you argued with her, you had to cut the vacation short, you had to practically lock her in her cabin.
All right. She said a lot of things, all sorts of things.
What things?
That he was the one love of her life. That she'd never forgive me. She wanted to marry him. I'm sure whatever she said for my benefit.
Well, not necessarily.
Cruz, we're talking about a 17-year-old girl. She had a boyfriend every single month. They were inseparable every single month. Do you see her talking to any of them now?
Yeah, but she told you this guy was important enough to her that she wanted to marry him?
You're barking up the wrong tree. I'm going to tell you something right now. If Serena's was the place where she had the romance and the accident wife had all that memory, don't you think she'd recognize Barr if she saw him? And don't you think she'd tell you just to put an end to the whole bloody mystery?
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably just making too much of a coincidence.
Thank you for taking care of Adriana.
What are grandfathers for?
Raphael, I know how this must look.
To me, it looks like a mother who finds it very difficult to be away from her family. I was a man who found it difficult to come back to her. I know the difference.
Thank you.
Sis, you didn't like the color?
I haven't earned it yet.
What happened?
Captain Dario called from Serena's. The records room at the courthouse was broken into.
When?
When Castillo was supposed to be asleep in a cell.
Great. What did he get? What did he get into?
Nothing's missing, but the file with the property titles, that kind of thing has been pried open.
That's good. Now he knows that I own Las Serenas.
Maybe. Yeah. Look, I don't think he could have found out anything else.
Don't underestimate him again.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I mean, I don't understand why you bought this island in the first place. What good is it to you?
What good is it to me? I had the happiest times of my life on that island. Someday I'm going back to it. For good. Things will be the way they were then.
You're back?
I'm sorry. I know you must be angry at me.
Where were you?
I was on the yacht.
Alone?
Of course. My God.
Well, you can't ask me to take much on faith right now.
I just didn't know what to tell you last night.
You could have answered my questions.
I was afraid.
Why?
I was afraid I'd say the wrong thing. I was afraid you wouldn't believe me. I was afraid that whatever I said, I would have to take back.
You mean because you can't remember it all yet?
How did you know?
Well, I had to make it my business to know, didn't I? Did you see him today?
Yes, I sent in my letter of resignation, and he came to ask me to change my mind, and I said no.
But that isn't really what he wants you for, is it?
No.
Two things. You can say anything to me, as long as you say it. And there is nothing I wouldn't do to keep you. No law, no point of conscience I wouldn't break. Nothing. That wasn't always the case. But somewhere along the line, I have come to care about you more than I care about everything else in the world put together. You need to keep that in mind.
Words were said in anger, but that's not me.
You loved him?
Goodbye is not the
Yes, I did.
All right. That's not so hard to take.
It was really long ago. It's nothing. It's unimportant.
No. Love is never unimportant.
don't leave love alone.
Will you tell me the rest?
I will. I want to.